Hello, I'm Tyrae Robinson. I knew Angel since I was in high school, first beginning in high school, and he's been around me and my family, as far as my sisters. He was always like the kind of counselor for me. Like he came around every time when there was a tough situation going on, and just to have fun, just to bring the spirits up in the room. He was warm-spirited, he was genuine. Everything that he said was very much genuine. It was coming from a place of understanding and a place where he didn't want you to think less of yourself. He wanted you to be your best self at all times. And he was just a very blunt person, very happy individual, but he lived life. That was the biggest thing. He was life. Like I said, it's that counseling, his bluntness, that's a good quality of his happiness that spread throughout the whole entire room, if you were in the room with them. Just his warmness, like you feel like you could talk to him about anything. It's a good quality to have have a man that has a nurturing demeanor. We all went down by this hotel that had water, and going through things, we all literally sat down on the rocks as close as possible to the water until the sun went down, and had a whole conversation about what we didn't like, what we could do to change it. And he was just being open-minded about everything, to see from all aspects of how you feel this way, but maybe they felt like that because of this. So it was a good, calming and relaxing view and where we were, so I will never forget that. He wanted everyone to be happy. He wanted you to think open. He didn't want you to just think and be a self-centered person. It was about, okay, well, you did this, but you also got to keep in mind you did this, and you got to be fair about it. You can't just, do things that's harmful to someone else and then put boundaries on how you're treated back. What I think the world will miss, for the people that know him, is the fact that he's a father, and he will never be able to make that time up with his actual related loved ones, and from the friends, we're gonna miss the time just being in the same room with him and being able to have fun and just have somebody that can relate to you about everything, just being driven in the right direction. We was always told the male perspective of everything from him, and that part is definitely be missed, because we could go to him and be like, if a guy does this, what am I supposed to expect? Because he was an actual man. So I think if anything, that's what I would miss personally, and I guess my friends, everyone that was around him, could say the same. Like, he was just guidance for us. I feel like when I'm in the aura of someone and I know someone, I know them enough to know that something happened. So from the minute that I was told that this was going on, I already knew that something had happened. So my mind was set on getting to the bottom of what happened and getting the justice that's needed due to the situation. I think he would want that too. And he's going to give us guidance throughout to figure out what happened. I trust in that. And for my personal view on the situation, I just feel like it needs to be light brought on to the situation, and no one can do it but those that know him. And I mean, we also gotta look at the situation as if God wasn't ready for him, then he would not have been taken yet. We gotta look at it from that point of view as well. He actually sent me a message right before I found out that he passed, and before this whole situation happened. And we literally just had a conversation about me losing my kid's father. And he actually reached out to me out of nowhere and was like, hey, checking on you and the kids, how's everyone doing? And I'm like, you know what, for the time being right now, we're fine. The last thing that I would say to him, because he wrote me, was like, I'm always here, I'm here. And I would just have that conversation to genuinely let him know how I felt about that situation, and just to open up more about it. That would be the last thing that I would talk to him about, and checking in with him as well. How are you feeling? I think because we get into that every time we talk anyway, but I feel like since it's the last thing that I would say to him, that was the last question that I was asked before this situation occurred. That's what I would say to him. I think he wants to get to the bottom of what happened. He would want whoever that did this to pay for it because, like I said, he still had a lot of life in him and he had a lot of life to give. He had a lot of things to do. And the justice that he needed to make has been made, because if you look at a room full of people, when it comes down to him, he's nothing but love and a lot of surrounding people that got to experience him. And we all know that in some way we're going to carry that throughout the rest of our life. But I also think that you took a life of someone's father, and my kids are experiencing that, and I firsthand witnessed how that affects kids. And I just think that he would want everyone to know, like, who did it, expose the situation, just in case we have anybody else go through this, because he always would want to do things to help someone else's situation. So I think that's what he would want. He would want us to know what happened. That way it's so many people that don't have closure. So he's still probably in a hurt space and place himself because he knows that they're hurt because they don't know what happened. And I feel like he would want justice brought to the situation so that they can have closure. That's what he would want, them not to hurt anymore.